taking phones now too.
It took a week for Bart to force its employee to the table.
That's right.
And in truth, if an employee of mine shot somebody and said that I'm not going to talk to you, then you're no longer my employee.
That's right.
And while we're on that, since he's no longer your employee, then Bart should turn it over to the district attorney and other investigative agencies and say he's yours.
That's right.
Take it and prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. I don't want to hear anything about a union right.
That's right.
There are no employee rights that protect the employee from the charge of murder.
Yes, sir.
So the Grant was a suspect of anything.
That's right.
So why was he sat on the ground anyway?
Yes, sir.
That in and of itself was a wrong act
That's
from
right.
law enforcement. And so, what went wrong?
That's why we created CAPE, is because we need a coalition of all the individuals in this community and the organizations in this community that can bring accountability. That's why we had the rally yesterday, so that we could organize this community to hold folks accountable. Why we're here today is because the folks that we want to start with is this board. Minister Keith spoke excellently about how we got to where we are. Let us be clear. There were policy decisions made and approved by this board that created this situation. Accountability needs to be made. This board needs to be accountable to this community for the use of excessive force on the part of the Bart Police.
That's right.
That's right.
This board needs to be accountable for the policies and practices that created this situation. That's how we got here. This board also needs to be accountable for its delayed reaction. We sat and watched, wondering during Katrina, who is going to save our people? Who is there to advocate for us? Who cares about what's going on in our communities? We created CAPE because we realize now we've got to save ourselves. We sat and watched and waited for this board to make comment, to make good, to make available to more, and felt that there were public elected officials, that this board was accountable to hold their people accountable. We are accountable. If somebody did something at my rally yesterday, I'd be standing here apologizing. Those were not my people in the street. I'm responsible for anybody that I bring forward. You should be responsible for the people that you brought forward to try to protect us because they murdered someone.
That's right.
That's what we're asking for, is accountability, and the people are tired of asking me an outside body, outside of this Bart community, to investigate. And we need this done immediately. We need charges brought immediately so that we don't have the risk of flight. The second thing is we want all officers involved investigated.
That's right.
All officers involved investigated, because anyone who watched the entire video can tell you that there was excessive force. We had the nerve in this community and in the press to have a conversation about why he mistakenly might have been reaching for his taser. There was no reason for Oscar Grant to be tasered. There was no reason for anyone on that platform to be tasered. I did not see one thing in the video, and I don't think anybody on this board was there, so you watching the same thing I'm watching. I didn't see one thing on that video that warranted the use. I saw a lot of people with their hands up.
That's right.
I heard the voice of Oscar Grant pleading not to be tasered before he was shot.
That's right.
He pleaded. He said, I'm a father. I got a 4-year-old.
I'm like, dang, man, this is like bad, because I'm like, if we can't call the cops, I mean, who can we call? Who's going to help us?
Nobody.
I mean, it's crazy, because it's hard to get a job out here, and then what you expect us to do? I mean, we can't get money legally. There ain't no other way to get money, because we got kids, we got bills, we got families to take care of, and all that. And I'm like, man, I don't know, I'm not even really a speaker like this, but I just feel like I gotta
Let him speak.
Because I'm 19 years old and I feel like I look like Oscar Grant, so I mean, they might get mad at me for speaking right now, and I might get shot next week. You never know, but it will be for a cause though. And that's
If
someone here was to have murdered someone intentionally on their job, we would have been arrested. We would have been fired on the spot, arrested on the spot, and still probably would have been in jail. Right now, a double-edged sword cuts us all. This system is that sword, sharp on one edge to make sure it fillets blacks and other comrades in the struggle, but dull on the other side for the so-called rulers, and their skin don't even get broken. Let's keep it real. Now, this guy, Johannesburg, Johannesburg, whatever, was put on a paid leave, right? Which to me, that was more like a reward. America rewards her killers and eats her young. Let's keep it real, y'all. The people are restless, and with every lynching, you do not kill our spirits, you resurrect our spirits. I am the spawn of the heroes and sheroes of yesterday. They are alive in all of us. And all of us, just like the racist, bloodthirsty spirit of the Killer Clan that was very much alive in that pig that took our brother's life. Now, if you are human, you will do everything you can to ensure that this never happens again. But truthfully, I am not confident in this system until the American rulers have been brought up on charges and convicted of crimes against humanity. Saddam was charged and executed. No one should be above the law, especially God's law. And God, just for the record, God, our Heavenly Father, is the only righteous killer of all the lands around the world. Not no pigs from no conifer uniforms. Thank y'all very much.
Or what happened to this child at that BART station, but all of this, the root cause is nothing to do, and our people deserve better than that, and I want you to do something about it, and I want the press to stop and look at yourself and just say, if they ain't killing each other, we ain't gonna show up.
Open the doors and bring people in. Now, it may be appropriate for us to take a brief break, let them get in.
Of seeing people looking like me. Look at me, because I'm the person, not Oscar Grant, but people like me too, who these cops would target. So as I leave here, ain't no telling what would happen to me out here or in Richmond or in San Francisco. Pain. People is tired. Don't you understand? We are tired. When you want to understand it, we've been peaceful since the writers tried away before they joined the 80s with all the BS that was going on. We've been sitting here quiet, listening. The only reason I won't talk to you is because y'all know you can't do it. I want you to look at me as a black man, not as a thug, as a criminal, or to be afraid when you see me on the streets and think you gotta call somebody or reach for something or put your purse on the other side.
That's right.
Speak it, brother, speak it.
Speak it.
Construction down the highways anyway. I flew to Alaska. I used to be up there. I used to have $20 million worth of work up there. Right now, I didn't see one black in Alaska working. So we got a real problem in this country. And it comes down to where the cops think all they got to do, they can do whatever they want. The first thing they do is try to demonize whoever was shot, who they killed. Demonize them. And the press goes right along with them. Whatever the cops say. That's it.
Black camera operators up in here.
Look it up, pretty. Who's in there?
Black.
Does that tell you anything? Anyway, this country, black people are rising up.
Yes, they
We
are.
are demanding that we get our fair share of this country's bounty. That we get ours, and then you'll see things change when you see black people can stand up